welcome to the Holo-Table podcast. This is episode 3 in the series where we give our opinions and hot takes on Halo-related content and topics. In this particular episode, we'll be discussing skill-based matchmaking, potential flighting date, how the UI will look, how Halo needs to grow its fan base, why content creators can't make Halo a career, and potentially more. If you're looking for a certain topic that we discuss, there will be timestamps available in the description below. I am UA Clips alongside UA Mr. Me 29,
Yo.
UA Apollo 5,
What's up?
UA Dayton 44,
How's it going?
and now introducing UA Avery.
What's up? My gamer tag is UA Avery. I've been in the clan for about 5 years. I've been playing Halo for a long time, since Halo Combat Evolved, and that was the first Halo game that I've ever played. My favorite Halo is actually Halo 2. And my YouTube channel is Underpool5. So yeah.
We are your hosts, and it is now time to discuss and criticize and get hyped for Halo. So first off, like I said, we're going to talk about skill-based matchmaking, and that was just announced that it is official. So my opinion on it is, I don't have an opinion on it really. I am okay with skill-based matchmaking because it'll give me a chance to better my skills constantly, since I'm going to be with people at my skill level, and then as I progress and get better, it'll be like that. But I know a lot of people don't like skill-based matchmaking because it doesn't make it as fun. You can't go into a regular match and just relax and play. You have to be on edge with people at your skill level and potentially higher. So honestly, I'm okay with it. I know a lot of people aren't, and so I'll pass the topic on to Mr. Me.
Okay. Here's how I feel about it. Most games I play usually say skill-based matchmaking, but I really don't even pay attention to it. Like, it feels like it's like an illusion to me, because no matter what, I get matched up with either really bad players or I get matched up with really good players. I never feel like it's in my range of player group. Like, if you play MCC now, you will find that you are the middle ground, and there's either people that are really, really bad or really, really good. So I just need to see how they're gonna do it in Halo Infinite, because it's like every Halo game, even in Halo Reach, old school Halo Reach, like, I never felt like I was in my own division with my team or like with the people I was playing against. That's why I liked the arena mode that they had in Halo Reach at a point in time. Like, I felt like I was in my own division then when they had the tiers and stuff. But other than that, I don't see any importance really for skill-based matchmaking unless this game actually can show me what a skill-based matchmaking preference is supposed to actually look like. So that's my take.
I agree with you, Mr. Me. And then I do have something else to add. I just thought of it. I would like the idea of ranked, because I'm sure they're gonna have a ranked mode. I would like ranked to be skill-based matchmaking, and then if they could, regular mode, Halo mode, that have that just be random. I think that would be pretty good. And all right, and now I'm passing it off to Glancing.
Alright, so I agree with you how there should be skill-based matchmaking in like a ranked or competitive playlist, and then in a social playlist there should not be any skill-based matchmaking. I feel like skill-based matchmaking, play with the people that are closest skill to you, so that means you're always trying to, get better and win games. So I feel like that would be better for ranked playlist. And then with social playlists, you can sit back, relax a little bit, and not have to worry about trying so hard.
All right, and now we're passing it off to Dayton.
So I don't really have a problem with skill-based matchmaking. It's been in Call of Duty for a minute. It's been in a lot of games for a minute. I think it's just another point for people to complain about. For example, in Call of Duty, like I said earlier, they haven't touched SBMM, and people have been complaining about it, or they were complaining about it like a few months ago, but now you don't hear anything anymore. Granted, they have a lot of hackers and stuff in their games, but I don't think skill-based matchmaking would be a massive problem in the game.
All right, and now for our first guest, UA Avery.
Yo, so about the skill-based matchmaking, I think they can do a really good job with it. I know lately it hasn't been that great, but if you really think into like the Halo 2 days, that skill-based matchmaking was intense and like really good, because the better you were, the higher your rank would be. It's not really a rank though, you'd have a number, and then the higher your number would get, you would even get to like a crescent or like a moon, depending on how good you were. You'd be playing with those type of people, and it's like every game, if you were at those levels, you'd be playing with the same people, and not only that, you'd be getting a lot better because you're playing with those people that are already good. And I think if they brought it back to how Halo 2 was, I think that would be like really freaking cool.
Now we're going to talk about the potential fighting date, basically the beta, and I will pass it off to UA Mr. Me.
Alright, thank you, Clips. So this has been in my head for a minute, and not just my head, but plenty of other YouTubers. Like I said in the last episode, I'm on YouTube every day looking at content creators you probably never even heard of, and with the content that's coming out and how everybody was on like super high hype levels, it's starting to drain down because it's been almost a month of no news, and now it's starting to get people curious and concerned. And some people are like, oh man, when is this beta coming? Is this flight even coming anytime soon? 343 keep emphasizing that we need to sign up for this beta, but we still don't have a release date for this beta. And it seems like the later the beta is, the less time they have to work on our feedback. And that's why I feel like that needs to be addressed, because like I said, the later this beta comes, the less time they get to work on what needs to be fixed. And that's a big problem. And it just seems like with this low communication that we're having right now with 343, it seems like that they're not ready to deliver us a beta, which means that also at the same time they might not be ready to be releasing this game at the time frame that they're talking about, or they're not gonna receive our feedback in time for whatever needs to come out like day one of Halo Infinite. So that's pretty much how I'm feeling about it. Pass it to you, Clips.
It's a little scary that we haven't had a beta yet. It's so close to the potential launch. They said holiday, we're all thinking November. And they've been saying for a while, like you were just saying earlier, that, sign up for the flight, you might get an email on maybe starting a beta. But there has been no news other than that, nothing acknowledging that we're even going to get it. And it's really scary to not have that and not be able to assess the game and then be able to adjust on what's bad, all the bugs that we're going to find. Not to mention how many bugs we're going to have in the campaign, because that there's going to be a lot of them, especially with an open world and how big it's going to be. And now on to Dayton.
So there's probably going to be a beta, realistically, like a month or so before the actual release of the game. It is kind of bad that we're in the dark, but I think that's just 343 being 343.
Now on to Avery.
So I don't really have much for the beta. I'm really hoping that they're gonna come out with it a lot sooner than the game is gonna come out, obviously, because, well, people need to test it out, make sure everything's good. Of course, there's gonna be bugs, but like like Dayton said, we're in the dark, so it is scary, and I really hope they announce something soon. We did get that multiplayer overview, but I don't think it was enough.
I agree. There's still a lot of stuff in this game that we need to know about, like how the game is actually gonna feel. Cause like what they showed us, it was a lot of high octane kind of action and stuff. I get that because they're supposed to showcase the game, but without any like just Slayer match that they can just upload to YouTube, something like that. I just feel like they need to show something. If we can't get a flight right now, I feel we need to get some sort of video to showcase how multiplayer is actually going to go, because there's so many things in that trailer that kind of concerns me a little bit. Like, for example, with picking up abilities such as like overshields and camo, you can pick that up off the ground now like a piece of equipment, and we don't know like if that's gonna have like a static timer like in the old games, like when you picked up a certain piece of equipment, the timer of when it's gonna come back up. But since it's now held on to you as a piece of equipment, does it reset after it's used, or is it the timer reset after you pick it up? Those kind of things. I just feel like we need to know the nitpicky things so we can get an understanding, so we can offer them that kind of feedback, because I don't want this game to fail on that kind of front. Because I don't know if you guys know, but just recently they just had a post with the interview with one of the multiplayer designers, and how they have a ping system now, like in Apex, Call of Duty, things like that. I feel like that kind of stuff, it's good, but it's also bad. But since we don't have the game in our hands and have a beta to play, we can't give them that kind of feedback. Because what if the ping system is like Apex, where you see an enemy, you just spam it, enemy there, enemy there, enemy there. It's not Halo-like for me. And like what I mean by that is, Halo, you had to learn the map yourself. You had to know that was top blue, that was rocket spawn. That was communication within each other, like as a team. That's how you learn how to play as a team. But I understand that as everyone grows older, people don't live in the same household anymore. Split screen is kind of like irrelevant now, and where no one really talks to each other anymore unless you already had that same group of friends. You're not gonna see people in game chat and stuff like that anymore. So I can understand why they have a ping system for that reason, to communicate without having a mic. But other than that, like, I feel like that it's stepping away from the classic Halo, and I understand that they're trying to modernize Halo, but also trying to stay with its roots. But like I said, without a beta, we wouldn't really know how far they're gonna go with systems like the ping system,
I think it's okay, just because for the people who don't have a mic or can't like afford a mic, because Xbox doesn't give you, that crappy mic when you buy it anymore. So, a lot of people can't really get a mic, and so the ping system's okay, but coming from Apex, the pinging can get extremely annoying, especially if you're trying to focus. Let's say you're going into ranked by yourself just because, and you, like you said earlier, your teammate is constantly spamming the button, and it can be a really big problem.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that pinging system, I don't think it's a Halo thing. It's not gonna feel. I don't think they can put it in to make it feel like it's Halo, because it's gonna be really overwhelming. Because like you said, Mr. Me, with Halo, you learn where all the weapons are. You learn, sniper, okay. Eventually people are gonna learn that anyway. So I don't think the pinging system is gonna be, really good. Like I said, it's gonna be really overwhelming, I think. So I think they shouldn't add it to that unless they're gonna have like a battle royale thing. Then yeah, go for it. But in matchmaking, I don't see it, being that great.
Yeah,
I think you guys are kind of overthinking it a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be like an audio cue. think it's just gonna be like a little pinging dot above something. I don't think it's gonna mark something. It's just gonna like put a marker on the screen. It's not gonna say what it's marking or have a sound. I think it's just gonna pop up a marker.
That would be better if it doesn't have a sound.
Well, see, here's the thing. They keep emphasizing customization with your character, right? How they have an AI that talks to you, how your character talks now. I feel like they're gonna utilize that. They're not gonna just put it in the game for no reason. I feel like either the AI is gonna talk too much or your character's gonna talk too much. Like how in Halo 5, how they had a setting where your like the Spartans on the field talked to each other. I turned that off as soon as I got the game, so I don't really know how that worked. But I hope there's a setting where you can turn off ping, because I feel like they're gonna add audio cues.
I think you're right. I think they will, and there's not really. Hopefully, they do have something where you can turn it off, but we'll see.
And now we're moving on to how will the UI look. For this topic, we're gonna kick it off to UA Apollo.
Alright, so how I would like the user interface to look like is how they did it in Halo Reach. How you can go over to your friends, scroll over, and then you see what armor they have, their accommodations, how much armor they've acquired, and then I don't remember the last one was. I think it's like the daily challenges or the weekly challenges they completed. I feel like that would be something really good to add into Halo Infinite, along with map voting systems. They need to add that back. I feel like that's a crucial thing Halo should have back in. Alright, passing it on to Dayton.
Yeah, so I 100% agree with you. I do think it's probably going to be super biased for all of us, or majority of us, because we did grow up on Halo Reach. But yeah, it would be nice to be able to see all that stuff, and then seeing the challenges would also give people an incentive to complete the challenges rather than just let them sit there and do nothing. But yeah, having an arm completion thing and commendations would be very nice.
Oh, and also to add on to that, I also seeing the ranks. I don't think numbered ranks like how it was in Halo 5, how you could be, I think the max rank was 152. I think that should be it. I think it should be like Halo Reach's style, how you can have Inheritor, Forerunner, all that kind of stuff. It almost, like they said, to give you an incentive to play the game and to get that certain rank to show off to other people. Passing it on to Avery.
So for the UI, I kind of think the Halo Reach would look good, with that, if they brought that back. Also probably with a mix of Halo 3. Halo 3 had a pretty good one too. How you would look at like a service record, it would show their rank and everything, and show their character and all that. I think a mixture of those two would probably be pretty good, in my opinion.
Alright, passing it on to Mr. Me.
Alright, I have a couple things I gotta say. Like, everybody's input, absolutely, I agree with. Me, when I think of a UI, I think of, the title screen and the main menu. And the first thing that I see is Halo 3 and Halo Reach. Like, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but the title screen for Halo 3, they had moving stuff in the background with its blue hue, like banshees in the sky, things like that. And when you look at Halo Reach, it was this bright, beautiful backdrop that was like concept art, like that was art in 2D. I feel like they need to combine that together somehow, without the blue hue, but without the 2D. So it's more of like a backdrop where it's a 3D, scenic, and it's like nice bright colors. That's how I see like the title screen, and like for the UI, how it makes that jump in Halo Reach, how it switched from each what is it? Each concept art, it just kept switching every time you went to different modes and stuff. I think they need to add that back too, but keep that in a 3D sense as well. So like, I'm not sure if anybody played Halo Wars, but Halo Wars kind of had something like that. Halo Wars 2, where its title screen had like, it was a 3D backdrop with color without a blue hue over it. So it's something similar to that, but more on the Halo Reach side, if that makes sense. But most definitely, I completely agree how, challenges need to be shown, commendations need to be shown, service record, because service records have been really bad lately in a couple of games. Like, they show your KDA. I don't like KDA. I know, it helps, make your KD higher with the assist and stuff, but I like your kill death record. It shows how many times you killed a person over how many times you died. I don't like the KDA because it feels like it's a way of trying to pat you on the back saying good enough. I want that competitive edge of wanting to improve myself, but seeing somebody with like a 2.5 KDA is not the same as seeing somebody with a 2.5 KD. That's the big difference for me when it comes to like the UI, and I think they need to change that. But yeah, most definitely Spartans and how they present themselves. I think they need to implement like what they did in Halo 5 and put into Halo Reach, like how they had stances and stuff. Instead of like having to click on someone to see the stance, they can just hover over them like how they did in Halo Reach, where you're looking through your friends list and you just see all these different people doing stuff. And speaking of the Halo Reach UI, how they had looking at players' game sessions, how you could look in the game sessions and to say they're in custom games playing a certain amount of, they're playing this with this many players in there. I think they need to add that back because the Halo Reach UI looks so much better than the one in Halo 5. It was too simple. It was too simple in a way to
It was
where,
really detailed too.
yeah, it was over detailed and too simple at the same time. Like,
Like
if
it was
that makes
bland
sense.
as well.
Yeah, like it was really bad, and I don't know, they just need to take some step back and look at the other games that did a really good job. And I know they keep saying that, they're looking at Halo Reach a lot for this game, and I hope that they take the good stuff, like the better stuff from Halo Reach into Halo Infinite.
It seems like they are leaning more towards like Halo Reach. I mean, the style looks really similar to Halo Reach in my eyes, at least. But about what you were saying, like how you can see what they're doing pretty much almost in game, like under their name and stuff. That's really good attention to detail. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like this is what I'm coming from. Like, Halo Reach has so much information for you in just a click of a button. Like, you saw their service record, you saw their file share. You can invite them to a party. You can do all that just from a click of a button. I know you can somewhat do that in Halo 5, but it wasn't presentable in a way to where it seemed interesting.
It was perfected back in the day.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, but I'm glad I
Yeah.
was able. I'm glad I was able to see it in a perfected state rather than not at all. So
Yeah, no kidding.
go ahead, Gonzo.
Like another thing, dude, that would probably make it a little bit cooler and add it more towards your Spartan. Something to do with, I guess, the rarity of items that you have. Like, let's say you got the samurai set, and then at the top of the screen, whenever you look at a certain person's character, it shows, oh, this dude had, like, out of his whole collection, it shows what the most rarest, I guess, armor or weapon skin or whatever this person has.
I get what
Like
you're
that one
saying.
goes
I get
pretty
what you're
cool.
So kind of like in Call of Duty, where you can like show off the calling cards you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it does sound like that.
I don't want it to be like Halo 5 because, in my opinion, the Halo 5 UI, especially when you're trying to look at all the different skins, the abilities you get for Warzone, and all the armors, it was really messy, especially because there were two places that you could go to see your skins. You could see, I don't know how to describe it. you could see everything you had unlocked and the things that were locked next to each other, and then you could also go to a different menu and just see everything you've had. And it's just they had too much, and it was just really messy to me.
Yeah, it was all jumbled up. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, the Halo 5 UI was awful. Everything you're saying, I'm just remembering all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just all coming back.
Yeah, and it was so ugly. Like actually looking back at it, I already knew that it looked ugly, but just realizing how ugly it looked, just
And it took so long to unlock stuff, man. Like, it's either spend all your life trying to unlock, that armor piece you want, or you just pay for it basically.
Yeah,
And
spend
get
$1,000 just
Yeah.
to
and get unlucky
Get
on the
everything.
packs,
yeah, like that was the one bad thing about Halo 5. Not the one bad thing, but the one of many bad things of Halo 5. Like there was no armor to chase for. Everything you wanted was just random. And
Yeah.
I don't know, like that's what really scared me in the beginning when they was talking about armor coatings and stuff. I was like, bro, how are we all gonna look the same when we gotta buy these rec packs to see who's gonna get the right skin? You know, we can't just go for this particular challenge and then get what we need, and then boom, we all look the same. We got, emblem skin or something like that, because that was annoying.
That was trash, man. He had to unlock the same icon as everybody else. That was a huge mistake on their part. Like Halo
didn't help
5,
either.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it didn't help either that most of the armor in Halo 5 looked like absolute trash, and
Yeah.
everyone just went to one armor piece, and that's what everyone wore.
Yeah, I stuck with the same one up until now. I still have the same one. But I mean, Halo 5, like the gameplay to me wasn't that. It was not that bad. Like I love playing. I love all the Halos. It wasn't that bad, but the way that they did things just wasn't that great.
Yeah, Halo 5 could have been a good game if it wasn't named Halo, and I think we all say that a lot. it was a good game that shouldn't have been a Halo game.
Decent
True.
for a game, it's not good for a Halo game.
Passing it on to you, Clips.
So my take on this is, I think they could take some inspiration from the Destiny UI, and in the way that I say that is, Halo, they want this to be for the next 10 years. And so we're going to have, progression stuff. We're going to need to keep a history. And I think Destiny does a pretty good job with their booklet. And I would like to see something like that similar, because it tracks things all the way from the first all the way to the end. And I think they can take a little bit from Destiny, do stuff similar, but make it their own, and obviously they're gonna do their own style of it.
I can see where you're coming
I'm
from
trying to
with
think
that.
of yeah.
I can see where you're coming from with that. Like, you're talking about the Age of Triumph book from Destiny 1,
Yes.
or are you talking about like the settings from Destiny 2, how they have a section for your progress?
Like how in Destiny 2, where it's basically like a booklet that you flip through and see your progression with every single thing.
Okay, that was Age of Triumph's Destiny 1, I think. But yeah, I know what you're talking about
Okay,
with
I
that.
must be mixing them up.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about with that, because when you said it, it made me think about, the battle pass system that they have, and they could use something like that for that. Like, you flip a page or whatever, or you flip to the next section, and it's like Battle Pass 1, Heroes of Reach. Is it called Heroes of Reach? I think that's what it's called. Heroes of
Yeah.
Reach. And it shows all the available armor you can get from that season, your progress within that season, and any challenges that you can complete that would help go towards that progress within that specific battle pass that you had. I feel like all that can fit on that page, so it could be filled up with information, and then you flip to the next page and it shows like the same thing for the next season, like that. So I can see where you're coming from with that, and I think that could work.
I have a question, like off the record. Did Destiny 2 come out with a battle pass?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, that's stupid.
And now moving on to how Halo needs to grow its fan base. I think they need to really listen to the game, like us. They need to listen and not just try and do their own thing, because Halo 5 in the beginning, they did a terrible job. It was horrible, and it wasn't until a few years later, which is really bad, that they started listening to us and started implementing some of our ideas and making the game just a little bit better. But it was just too little too late for that, and I think a way to do this is to be more open with the public. The Apex developers are really good about that. They're on Twitter and they're always telling people what they're gonna do in the update that is coming up, the changes, what it's gonna affect, and they're not super detailed on it, but it's enough to make us happy. Now moving on to Mr. Me.
Alright, so it's not even about the fact that them not listening, it's about what they already have in the game for me. Like, when I mean by when Halo needs to grow its fan base, I'm saying that if you just take a look on YouTube, you'll see that, the view count for Halo videos aren't that high, and everybody's subscribed to the same people. It's like we're all just in this bubble. We're just in this bubble, just talking to the same people over and over and over again, and like Halo isn't expanding. I understand the past 10 years of Halo have probably been its worst it's ever been. Actually, it has been its worst it's ever been, and this needs to be the turning point to where people will actually start talking about Halo again, because there was a time where it was massive, and Halo clips here and there doing this and that, conventions and all that stuff, and it was such a big deal. And now it's just like we're just in this little corner somewhere, just all together, just on over, I don't know, just super nostalgic just about how things were and how it could be. And I'm just ready for new people to come into this game so we can help build Halo again, because it's not about what 343 have been listening to over the years. It's about what 343 is going to do to bring them back, or to bring them back and to bring in others. Because Halo 4 and Halo 5, honestly, it didn't bring that many people in. Of course, there's always someone that's going to jump ship just to see how things are, but compared to any other Halo game, those games did not last long. And like I said, take a look on YouTube, seeing how these small content creators just can't grow because of the fact that people don't want to look at Halo because of just how bad it's gotten. And I don't know, it's upsetting because I really care about this franchise and I want to see it grow. And seeing us just staying in this bubble, it's just, I'm ready for something different. So, pass it on to you, Glenson.
Alright, the main thing that I think will really grow Halo's fan base is them stop focusing it so much on the competitive aspect of Halo. They need to bring it back to, I guess, more of a casual kind of thing, to bring in more people, make the game fun enough for to attract newer audiences and all that. And when more people come in, then we'll have these little quote unquote subgroups.
Wasn't that part of the issue with Halo 5, that they focused too much on casual gaming?
They
and not
focused more on competitive.
Yeah, that was Destiny 2 that focused too much on casual.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm mixing things up again. Sorry about that.
I was gonna say, not focus as much on competitive, have more people, come in to get into, I guess, that casual kind of thing, like with custom games and all that. And as we grow as a fan base, then there are going to be these little subgroups that, I guess, branch off into.
Yeah, I understand. No, I get you completely. You're talking about like having these own little sub communities. How they have a machinima community, and how
Yes,
they
yes,
have
yes.
forge communities. Like I get you. Like that's pretty much what I'm saying. Like we're in this bubble, right? Like the if you realize the machinima community just fell off the map, like completely. The machinima community just fell completely off the map. Nobody's making machinimas anymore. Machinimas aren't as big anymore. Forge not clans, Forge communities. You know, they used to post videos like all the time. You know, promoting their puzzle maps, promoting you know, Forge contests. All these things have shriveled down. You know, it's just and it's so sad. It's so sad because these things used to flourish, man, and it's affecting its own franchise.
Well, to be fair, didn't like the actual machinima company go out of business? Like they went bankrupt?
Yeah, but like if they just changed the name Machinima, then that's pretty much like I'm not saying like the company Machinima. I'm just talking about the videos, the clips, the movies, that
Right,
in
yeah.
general. You're not actual, you know, machinima. It's just that's what
Th-
they became known as.
I mean, also we don't have red versus blue either. They completely shut down red versus blue, unfortunately.
Did they
I
actually
think,
finish
yeah.
that? I thought they were still doing it.
Or at least it's not the original red versus blue. It's the tacky thing that they're doing now.
Yeah,
A lot of them, a lot of the voice actors for Red versus Blue aren't even there anymore.
Yeah.
see, but here's the thing. Here's the thing. It shouldn't just be one company carrying that community on the shoulders. Like it should have been able to expand from just Rooster Teeth. That's what I'm saying. Like the game fell off so bad that nobody really wanted to continue doing this stuff. And you know, Red versus Blue, it's great and all, but they were the only ones that were recognized for it. But there were plenty of great machinima creators, and I feel like a lot could have that could have expanded. You know how Red vs. Blue started to have animations and stuff and things like that. The community within that, there it was great. How when you were a kid, I'm like, oh man, I want to be in a machinima. People used to think that was cool and important and stuff. I used to think that was cool and important. I was in a couple of machinimas from
We all
famous.
were.
Yeah, we all were.
Mhm.
We were in some pretty famous machinimas, and I hope we can just bring that stuff back again because Halo's missing its core community, and I think that's what it is. Like the core community are the ones who are able to disperse into those little sub communities because
I think
yeah.
sorry, I think a way that they can help make it bigger and make their fan base bigger, bring in a lot more people, is that they can do a sort of community highlights where they can not shout out, but show off different clans or maybe different machinimas, try and engage with the community to make people want to do that stuff so that they could get their time to shine, so to speak.
Kind of
You're
like how
reaching.
Destiny does with, I think it's every reset, they give off like an emblem or something for, like fashion shows. What else do they do? Little machinimas, they do those as well, like little movie clips. They like reward you for it.
Or they can do like, I don't know if you guys remember in Halo 3 how you can like go into Forge mode and then you can like take these awesome freaking pictures and then you can go to the list and see like the top like favorited or like pictures and everything, and then you can add those to your how would you call it, like
File share.
File browser.
to your
Yeah,
file share,
that-
yeah, like that. And I think that was a really cool thing that they added to Halo 3.
They had that on Reach as well.
Did they? That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
I don't know if it was most liked, but I think it was like most viewed or something. And then you'd have people like She-Wolf and all those people. They'd have pictures and they had the SIGs and then
Yeah.
there'd be the game types and maps and all that stuff. But like Halo 4 and Halo 5 didn't have that shit.
Yeah, they
Didn't have
do.
that stuff. But Uh, did Halo 5 have a custom game browser where you can search for that stuff?
But it wasn't. It
No,
wasn't
not
really a
pictures.
custom game browser. It was like you can
It was a
upload
file browser.
your pictures.
Okay.
Now moving on to our last topic of the day: why content creators can't make Halo a career. And starting off with me, I think right now people can't make Halo a career just because it's obviously the fan base isn't there. Um, we're not getting any news about Halo. Nothing's coming out. Just up until Infinite comes out, you can't start. Once it comes out, there's a chance for everybody to blow up to become the next big Halo tuber. But up until start getting more information and Infinite comes out, tough luck.
Yeah, Clips, you hit that right on the nail, dude. Because, like, as I said earlier, if you look through a YouTube search right now and just try to look for any Halo content, you're gonna see like a bunch of little views. Because once again, nobody wants to see Halo stuff, and it's very unfortunate because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I would love to make Halo my career. I've been doing YouTube for almost 10 years now. I feel like I'm kind of done doing it as a hobby and I'm ready to try and pursue this as something legitimate. I feel like 10 years is a good amount of time to invest in a hobby to see if that's something you want to do in the long run. And with me still doing YouTube from time to time over 10 years, I feel like, yeah, I think I am ready to commit. But with the search histories and stuff now, just seeing content creators getting a little bit it's kind of discouraging, but it's not in a way to where I'm ready to just throw in the towel, because like what Clip said, you know, there's nothing for Halo right now. You either got shorts that you can do to like get little retention from people that have like short attention spans who don't want to watch long videos, and then you got discussion videos, which is like everywhere right now because there's nothing that you can really talk about or do for Halo content except theorize and just discuss stuff like literally what we're doing right now. And then you have these other videos that are going to be like off the map and obscure within the next, you know, couple months. I don't want to make content like that. I want to make content to where you can go back in a year and it's still entertaining, not just, oh, this is relevant for the next week or this is relevant for the next month. I'm trying to change the landscape of how Halo content is, and I feel like it's drawn out to that, and that's what's really, I don't know, it's a really bad take for Halo right now. And when you see people like Ubernick and Hidden Xperia, things like that, these people are unfortunately stuck at their same subscriber rate because we're in this bubble. Everyone's subscribed to everyone already, so we can't grow until Halo puts in that effort, until 343 puts in that effort to be able to expand its audience. But
That's what I was gonna mention too. Is that even the big Halo YouTubers right now are struggling to make ideas. If you watch the videos, they even sometimes say like it's hard to come up with ideas because there's not much out there. They're having to just come out with lore videos, and you can look at all their content from now and the past. Their views have dropped significantly, and it's just the people aren't there.
I also think the problem is that the main audience that they would have been entertaining are now growing up. They don't have the younger audience, and that's because the younger audience is all super into the battle royale scene, which is also why I think the only way Halo is going to be revived is if there is a battle royale implemented into the game. I don't think Halo's going to bump anytime soon unless that happens. I mean, if you look at Call of Duty was falling off like completely and then they put out Warzone like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and now it's back on top again.
I really don't think they should have had a battle royale, in my opinion. I feel like they need to add something original to it, which, I mean, that's really hard to come by
Impossible.
nowadays, but
Not possible.
yeah.
Avery, you got anything to say, man?
Shoot, I mean, it is like you guys said. It is really difficult to make a career out of it right now. Right now, it's just a waiting game. A battle royale, I don't think it'd be the smartest thing to do. I mean, obviously, that's what's going on right now. You know, like what Dayton said with Call of Duty Warzone, it picked up like crazy. But yeah, all their oldies that played Halo are grown up now, no time to play anymore, like me. And younger people are into that battle royale, like you guys said. So that's pretty much it. You guys pretty much talked about it already.
Halo Infinite will probably be the last game most of us would play because this game is supposed to last for 10 years, which means that this is kind of like the last shot for people like us to give Halo another chance, because we're not going to invest hours and hours of time playing Halo in the next 10 years, like, or 10 years after. You know, we'll be in our 30s and 40s. We'll have to have way important things to do at that time, you know? And like I said, if I could make a career within these next 10 years of Halo in Halo Infinite, that would be cool. And like within those 10 years, I could drop off and then do whatever, you know? But this is like pretty much my last chance. And I would love to see what I could do with Halo, because I'm extremely passionate with so many different ideas and content that I have in mind. And I'm just waiting on the day when Infinite drops so we can be able to showcase what we have in store for YouTube and also for the audience of YouTube.
Anyway,
How do I
guys, I
close
want to thank you guys for watching our video. I'm UA Avery. I want to thank you guys very much for having me on here. I may not have had a lot of input, but I at least have some things to say about Halo and hopefully about what's coming up with Halo. Again, I appreciate you guys having me on here. We're gonna have so much more stuff. You, Mr. Me, has a lot of stuff in store, and I cannot wait to see what he comes out with, because he's truly an amazing person. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.
Okay, and that concludes the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you would like to, share the video to your friends. This has been the Holo-Table podcast with me, UA Clips, UA Mr. Me 29, UA Apollo 5, UA Dayton, and our first guest, UA Avery. Thank you.